Hey guys, what's up? I'm Erin and welcome back to Erin Talks Money and welcome back to another installment on my FIRE series. Today I'm going to be talking about Lean FIRE. Lean FIRE, or Financial Independence Retired Early, in case you didn't know, is really the original concept that kind of kicked off the entire FIRE movement. Over the years, yes, many different types of FIRE have evolved, but Lean FIRE is really the OG that started it all. Lean FIRE can really be described as the frugal path to financial independence. All those immediate thoughts that come to mind when you think of the FIRE movement are really true about Lean FIRE. Lean FIRE is all about embracing a life of minimalism and frugality. Now, the general benchmark for living a Lean FIRE style of retirement is $40,000 a year in income or less. Now, to get an income of $40,000 a year off your investments, according to the rule of 25, you would have to have $1 million saved up. Now, $1 million certainly isn't an insignificant sum of money, but you have to remember, those who are part of the FIRE community may be trying to make their retirement savings last 50 or 60 years. Compared to those who are doing a more traditional retirement age, they may only be relying on their savings for 20 to 30 years, so there is a big difference. But you have to keep in mind that $40,000 a year is generally seen as the max amount that somebody would retire on and still live that Lean FIRE lifestyle. Many people retire on far less, and that's where the appeal of Lean FIRE comes in. For example, let's say you were able to live on just $25,000 a year. Well, that would mean you could retire once your nest egg hit just $625,000. So having a smaller number to hit makes early retirement that much more possible. Now, it is important to keep in mind that everyone's income, savings rate, and FIRE number is all independent on their personal situation and what the lifestyle they want is. I'm just throwing in some numbers so we can get a better idea of what this concept is. So for example, let's say you have an income of $50,000, of which you're able to save $15,000 every single year. Say your goal is to retire with a nest egg of $625,000. Well, that would mean you would be able to retire after just 18.5 years of work. At that point, you would be able to withdraw about $25,000 a year, or a little bit over $2,000 a month. However, if you wanted to reach the upper echelons of Lean FIRE and retire with $1 million in the bank so you could get that full $40,000 a year, if you had that annual income of $50,000 a year and you were able to save $15,000 a year, you would be able to step into early retirement after just 23.5 years. At that point, you would have just over $1 million. You'd be able to withdraw roughly $40,000 a year, and that would come out to about $3,300 per month as an income. Notice that these incomes really aren't all that substantial. Now, when you choose the Lean FIRE route, you really are choosing a life of frugality. It's highly unlikely that you're going to retire and live out your retirement dreams in a major metropolis, because it's highly unlikely that you can actually live on $40,000 a year or less in New York or LA, Chicago, DC, or Miami. It's far more likely that you're going to retire and settle down somewhere in the heartland of the country where simply the cost of living is cheaper. With a Lean FIRE lifestyle, you are committing to living on a smaller income for the rest of your life. Now, if you are a minimalist at heart, this is probably no big deal whatsoever. However, if you long to take the occasional vacation or buy the occasional new car, an income of $25,000 a year probably isn't going to cut it. Kids are another important factor for anyone on any type of FIRE journey, but especially for those on the Lean FIRE journey. Saving aggressively is just simply far easier when you don't have kiddos. You don't have to figure out the cost of daycare, new clothes, new toys, the amount of food they eat, and all the activities they go through, not to mention potential university costs. It's estimated that to raise a child from birth to 17 years old, so not including college costs, is about $285,000. That's just one kiddo. Now, money isn't everything in life, but make no mistake about it, your family life will 100% affect your financial life. Achieving lean fire, while not impossible, will be made much harder when you have children. So for that reason, this route tends to seem best suited for those who are individuals or couples who don't have children. Living the lean fire life really is stripping it all down to just the essentials. And I have to mention that there is some inherent risk with retiring on a smaller portfolio. For example, say that you retire with just $625,000 investments. Well, if a bear market hits and your portfolio takes a 20% decline, you would be left with a portfolio with just $500,000. The way I see it, if you've already stripped all your costs down to the bare bones, to just the essentials, just to live on your current portfolio, you leave yourself in a very vulnerable position because the stock market is a rather finicky thing. Yes, in the long term, it does go up, but how it performs over the next several months or even the next couple years is really anyone's guess. If you're already living on just the basics, you've stripped all your costs down, it can be kind of hard to weather those storms that inevitably do come. It's easier to weather those storms if you have a larger portfolio going into retirement. Lean fire is for a very specific type of person, and it doesn't fit everyone's lifestyle. But financial independence does have mass appeal, hence why there are so many different types of fire out there. Just because you join the fire community and you're striving for financial independence, by no means that you have to live a bare bones minimalism life living in a van down by the river.
And I live in a van down by the river.
Now, I do think your lean fire number is an important step and milestone on your financial journey, no matter what type of financial independence you are pursuing. I think it's in your best interest to figure out what your lean fire number is. That's going to be the number that covers your basic life essentials: food, clothing, transportation, and shelter, and that's pretty much it. Because know that hitting lean fire is a big deal. It represents a great deal of successful saving and a big milestone in your financial life. Even if you don't plan on retiring at that point, maybe it gives you peace of mind knowing that if something were to ever happen to your job or to you, your essentials would be covered. Or maybe you're a person who truly dislikes their job, and once you hit your lean fire number, you give yourself permission to go out there and pursue other career opportunities that maybe don't pay as much, but maybe they're more fulfilling in other ways. Or maybe once you just hit your lean fire number, you take a moment, you pause, and you celebrate it. You go out to a nice dinner with your significant other. Hitting your lean fire number is likely to be the first big milestone you hit in your financial journey, so it's definitely worth taking a moment to acknowledge it. Now remember that lean fire is just at one end of the fire spectrum. Perhaps you hit your lean fire number and you decide to stop saving altogether. You keep working, but you allow compound interest to take over and work its magic on growing your net worth. But at this point, since you're still working, you get to spend your entire paycheck and maybe live a little larger and not save so aggressively. At that point, you would be entering coast fire. Or perhaps you decide that maybe you really do want to step away from your traditional day job and you want to live off your portfolio, but maybe you're okay with taking on some part-time work. Remember, if your portfolio is only generating $25,000 or $40,000 a year, having a part-time job that brings in perhaps $10,000 to $15,000 a year is going to make a big difference and have a big impact on the lifestyle you live in retirement. Well, at that point, you would be living barista fire. There are different ways to approach fire. I do have videos on both of coast fire and barista fire. I will link them down below in the description box if you are interested. Now, lean fire isn't for me personally. I love to travel. I love to see the world. I love having some fun money that I can, quite frankly, just spend on whatever I want. Yes, I do follow a budget. Yes, I am frugal, but I don't like to strip life down to the bare bones, just essentials. To me, that kind of takes a little bit of the fun out of it. But remember, there is no wrong way to live your life. There is no right way to pursue fire. All that matters is that you're doing what you want to do, living a lifestyle that you want to live. If you are truly a frugal minimalist, lean fire may be perfect for you, and that is absolutely great. Now, if you are pursuing a different type of fire, phenomenal. But remember, take a moment to acknowledge when you hit your lean fire number, because it still is a big deal on your savings journey. So what do you guys think about lean fire? Have you ever thought about pursuing it? What type of fire are you pursuing? I'm actually really curious. Let me know in the comments down below. I post new videos every Monday and Thursday, so I will be seeing you guys very soon. If you liked the content you saw in this video, please give it a like on the way out. If you're new here, subscribe, and also if you know a friend who might get something out of these videos, please consider sharing. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you soon. Bye.